Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
What a view.
It's an amazing view. It's a great place to work.
So Chris, you've spent your entire career in aviation, yeah? From Frontier to TSA to obviously now running one of the biggest airports in the world. And there's a lot more to come. So as you think about the future, what's the vision for DFW? What's the ambition?
The ambition is huge. A lot of that's due to my predecessor. I inherited a great campus with a lot of work started. We're essentially rehabbing the majority of our terminals, 4 out of 5 terminals, and then adding a 6th terminal right now, our Terminal F. And with all that work, we'll be about 20% larger than we are today. Today, we're second biggest in the country, 86 million passengers a year. We think we'll be north of 100 million in the next 3 years. What people don't think about is what it takes to connect all those facilities. 5 terminals going to 6, 7 runways, 1,200 lane miles of road. So a big part of my vision is more than just building terminals. It's about how do we connect all of our infrastructure.
I think what people don't realize is this is the size of Manhattan.
Yeah, with all the infrastructure to go with it. 4 hotels, a 36-hole golf course, our own Department of Public Safety with its own jail.
So we've had the privilege to work together since you took over about a year ago. And tell us a little bit kind of the collaboration and the partnership model that you have with us.
It's really been a great partnership. We brought you all in to look at how do we make sure that we can strengthen our infrastructure, strengthen our approach to really this digital transformation that we've been talking about for years. My recollection of our first meeting really was your team coming in and having a true kind of workshop, a full day with not just the executive team, but also right down to our front line. And by front line, I mean from a technical services perspective and from a business perspective.
I remember coming for one of those sessions and people were so excited from the police department, from the HVAC units, from the maintenance teams, and you could see the level of engagement. What impact have you seen from the work we've done together?
You know, we're just over a year into that actual journey in terms of work being produced. And so we've built 2 products with you, the first one being a product called Aware. And from a material basis, what that allows us to do is more adequately control the flow of traffic through our facility, keep eyes on early problems so that we can send resources early in the game to mitigate those problems before they become larger. And so Aware has been an amazing product. You all were probably 80% of the work when we started, and now Aware is essentially self-funded by DFW and run by the DFW team because you all allowed us to transition from BCG-led to DFW-led. And once we did that, we moved your resources into a different product, our Resource Schedule Optimizer. And that's a tool that we use over on the maintenance side where we can aggregate work, we can dispatch teams, we can make sure that work is being done more completely. And that tool has only been in place for a few months, but already we're seeing a 23% improvement in the efficiency of our technicians and almost a 50% reduction in the actual job time associated with each job. So that's a real example of how our work together allows us to streamline, become more efficient, and again, going back to the long-term vision, address the needs of tomorrow by maintaining our cost structure and our efficiency. One of the things that I'm most excited about is the pride that it's given our employees, this ability for frontline employees to actually build something that they can then see in practice, and they know that they had a part not just in their day-to-day, but also in the long-term success of DFW. It makes me really, really proud.
What capabilities did BCG bring that differentiated us and stood out from other vendors or partners you've worked with?
What I've loved about working with you all from day one, the first word that comes to mind is humility. You all approached our relationship and the problems that need to be solved from a genuineness. All of your team members bring energy and excitement and passion. I love that it only took maybe a couple weeks for them to start referring to us as we. And then look, at the end of the day, a lot of consultants out there will talk a long time about what they want to do and never get to the do part of it.
Right.
We got to the do very, very fast.
As you think now about the next phase of the journey, how does AI fit in the grand plan?
When I think about AI, I think about it 2 different ways. I think about it in terms of sort of intellectual AI, which I think is the majority of the conversation today. But I still think about good old-fashioned industrial AI, the things that help us move machines more quickly or more reliably. We've seen enough evidence to know that by leaning into AI, both on the intellectual side and the industrial side, that is the magic that will help us get to the efficiency gains that we think we need to get to over the course of time.
Chris, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for the trust. It's as I said, it's a privilege to work together and a lot to come.
Absolutely. Thank you.